in regards to your opponent that you have this week, how much different is it preparing for this Patriots team than it has been in years past?
Well, at the quarterback position, Cam Newton is a dual threat. He can does a lot. He does a lot of things well as far as quarterback-driven runs, and he can throw the ball. I mean, this guy was a league MVP, led his team to a Super Bowl. I mean, he is a threat. He is a weapon. But Tom Brady arguably is the best of all time. I think he's the best I've ever seen. So that they're two different styles, two different quarterbacks, but equally hard to prepare for.
And Damian Harris, what do you see from him?
He's a good player. They have a lot of guys on their team that are really good players. They play smart. They don't beat themselves. They're number one in the league in penalties, and they're a very disciplined team as far as just like I said, just not beating themselves and doing stupid things. That's part of that culture there. And when you play this team, you can't give them anything because they're not going to give you anything. They do a hell of a job on the offense side of the ball, running the football. The completion percentage is not bad, but it's been higher in the past. But they're running the football better than they've ever ran in the past. They're controlling time of possession. They don't turn it over, so they're going to do everything they can to stay on the football field. Defensively, they do play a lot of man coverage. They're going to come at you with different pressures from different levels, and they're going to set the edge, build the wall, and try to stop the run. And they're going to challenge you. They're going to get in your face and challenge you. So it's going to be a tough challenge for us this week. And I'm sure they're going to be prepared like they always are.
What do you remember when you were growing up about watching Bill Belichick and his New England Patriots?
Yeah, all the success they've had over the years. They've been good year in and year out, and it's a great combination between the coaches and the players, and just the overall program really. And so it's been a lot of fun to watch them, and it's a great opportunity to play against them.
When we spoke to him on Monday, he said that he felt like you had no weaknesses, that you had played so well, that each week he just sees that you keep on growing and growing. To have a coach of that magnitude speak that way about you, what does that mean to you?
Well, I really appreciate that. That's really high praise, and I think that there are plenty of things that I need to work on. So going into this week, there's always stuff that I can work on and get better at and improve at. But it means a lot to me that he said that.
When you face a Josh McDaniels offense, what are the commonalities that you see?
I think he's a really, really good adjuster to the personnel that he has. I think first and foremost, I think that he understands football very well, attacks systems very well. They have their core principles, but then he adjusts off the opponent that they play. So he's done a really good job, I think, adjusting with the new quarterback that they have in their system, and still keeping some of the principles that you see in a year-to-year basis in effect.
How does Cam look this year as opposed to Cam Newton? How does he look this year as opposed to years past?
Well, I think, he's still got a very strong arm. He can make all the throws. You see him in critical times making deep throws. Very impressive that way. And then as a runner, the quarterback runs, we're seeing more and more. Here's back-to-back weeks with the quarterback so involved with the run game that it really presents a big challenge for defenses. And, his ability to do that as well as the pass game makes him very effective. And he can still run.
Does facing Josh Allen last week and preparing for Josh Allen kind of help you in the preparation for this week?
Yeah, it's a little bit different styles. I think there's some similarities in that the quarterback runs and you got to be aware of it. And the similarities are really you don't know when it's going to happen. It's not like, hey, this is a critical situation, let's run the quarterback. They do that, but they'll do it on 1st and 10, second down, mixed in red zone, 2-minute. They mix it in throughout the whole game.
And preparing for the Patriots defense, what challenges does that pose and your thought process going up against them?
Yeah, no, they do a heck of a job. They have multiple personnel groupings on defense. They line guys up all over the place. Obviously, Belichick does a heck of a job year in and year out with that defense. They're leading the league in takeaways right now. They create turnovers. They do a lot of good things on defense that we got to be prepared for. And obviously AP's over there, so we're familiar with him. And then the McCourty twins, they do a nice job on the back end. And then Gilmore's a premier corner that we got to be ready for. So it's going to be a tough task for us, but we're excited for it.
How did this season's Cam Newton look like last season or previous Cam Newton from previous seasons? Excuse me.
I think he's doing a good job, especially as of late. I think the coaches there do a really good job of scheme. They have a good running game that kind of sets up other things. He's kind of a guy similar to last week that is going to try to make plays, stay in the pocket, hold on to the ball, and he's a guy that can do that. So you have to make sure you watch out for that. But it also opens up doors for us to keep rushing and eventually get him down if he tries to make plays with his feet like that. So he's definitely been effective, and that coupled with the run game has been pretty good this year. So we're going to have to stop that run first to start affecting Cam.
Joey, when does the switch turn on for you? You seem like a mild-mannered guy pretty much through your interviews and on the practice field, but in game time, clearly, you turn it on. When did that switch turn on for you?
I don't know. I wouldn't really call it a switch. I don't really flip anything on. It's just, I guess, who I am and what comes out when I get excited or whatever. But yeah, I don't really see it as a switch. I think just football is, I don't know. It brings out a different form of me, and that's probably why I fell in love with it to begin with, is because it turns me into something and lets me express myself in ways that I usually don't, or usually don't even want to, because I'm not in such an intense mood or whatever. So yeah, it's just it's a different world out there.
When you look at this Patriots defense with Devin McCourty, Stephon Gilmore, obviously Adrian Phillips, how crafty is this defense, and what do you feel like you have to do to be able to overcome that and be able to keep the chains moving and get in the end zone?
Yeah, they're going to come up and challenge us. You're going to throw different looks at you and do different things that just make you think. So you have to be ready to go. I think the mental preparation going into the game, you have to be ready to go. And then when it comes time, man, you just have to make plays when the plays are presented for itself. So I think that's the biggest thing that we got to do is just win our one-on-one matchups and make plays.
If you like that video, check out more.